Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg will testify before 3 congressional committees next week about the company's handling of its users' information. The social media giant now says data firm Cambridge Analytica gained unauthorized access to information from up to 87 million people. That is far more than the 50 million or so previously reported. Zuckerberg told reporters yesterday he is still the best person to run Facebook. But he also admitted Facebook made a huge mistake and said it can do better to protect user data. And in his words, at the end of the day, this was my responsibility. Nancy Cordes is on Capitol Hill with what Zuckerberg can expect from lawmakers. Nancy, good morning.
Good morning. Well, they tell us they want to know whether any other companies have been able to get access to this kind of data and exactly what kind of information we're talking about. Now, Zuckerberg insists that Facebook has gotten a lot better at protecting user information, but he also admitted that every Facebook user, and there are about 2 billion of them, should assume that at some point their personal information has been scraped from the site by a third party.
It's clear now that we didn't do enough.
In a rare conference call with reporters, Zuckerberg fell on his sword, acknowledging that a company hired by the Trump campaign was able to access the personal data of far more users than previously believed. Up to 87 million people unwittingly shared their information with Cambridge Analytica, a political consulting firm partially funded by the billionaire Mercer family.
When you're building something like Facebook, there are going to be things that you mess up. And if we'd gotten this right, we would have messed something else up.
But some lawmakers see this as the latest in a series of security blunders that Zuckerberg should answer for in person.
The air needs to be cleared by the CEO.
They want to know why Zuckerberg initially laughed off the notion of foreign meddling back in 2016.
The idea that fake news on Facebook influenced the election in any way, I think, is a pretty crazy idea.
That, he says, was a mistake that has since been fixed. Just this week, Facebook removed more than 270 Russian pages and accounts and restricted apps from accessing certain details about you and your friends. Still, Facebook's stock price has tumbled more than 10% since last month. Morgan Stanley warning that data privacy issues are feeding investor concern. How can you ever fully reassure users that their information isn't going to be used in a way that they don't expect?
We can certainly do a better job of explaining what we actually do. The vast majority of the data that Facebook knows about you is because you chose to share it.
Zuckerberg was asked whether anyone at Facebook has been fired over this Cambridge Analytica scandal, and he said no. He has said, however, that social media companies like Facebook perhaps should be regulated more heavily by the federal government. And that, Norah, is certain to be a big topic of conversation when he testifies here on Capitol Hill next week.
It's going to be busy, Nancy. We'll be watching. Thank you so much.